This one's it's not the prettiest review in the world for sure. Again, I was pretty adamant, after they signed him and after I watched him, that I think he's a downgrade from Quentin Jefferson, what Quentin Jefferson was last year. Again, transparently, I do think they overpaid him a little bit, considering Quentin Jefferson got $3.5, $4 million, whatever it was, and Kinlaw's getting 7.5. You'd anticipate him being a better player than Kinlaw. And I know that a lot of people will say, like, oh, well, you don't know that he's not going to be as good as Quentin Jefferson was for the Jets. So then I made sure to rephrase my words and say that Quentin Jefferson, at the time of him signing with the Jets, I liked his Seattle film a lot more than I like Kinlaw's film at the time of signing with the Jets. Is that fair to say? I think you could say that. Can I guarantee you he's not going to be as good as Quentin Jefferson? No, but I don't like the signing as much. Okay, so he's right here. Two eye tech. Let's watch. So we definitely like, and you'll notice he has power, he has straight line speed, he has all the athleticism in the world. There's a reason he was a top 10 pick. I don't know exactly what I think he was a top 10 pick, right? Maybe he's a little bit less. I know he's a first round pick at the minimum. So comes off the ball, hands land inside. He's even a little bit high into contact though. You can see he's not winning that leverage battle, but the fact that he landed both hands inside, a lot of power through the right hip up, gets that push, gets that torque, creates the vertical separation he needs to cross his face. As he crosses his face, left hand comes into the V of the neck to extend the offensive lineman to again clear Kinlaw to remove that right hand, and then bring the running back down. This is a good rep. You could see the power. You can see the power. We don't like that the hands are like clapping on there. We want a more tight, more tight hands, tight elbow angles, and dropping the hips a little bit. He's a little bit high, but again, does a really good job driving through the hip. You see the hip. You see the hips twist and extend through the right hip, up and through the right arm, which creates again that separation. Right arm to left, keep the separation while freeing up that outside hand. Make the tackle on the running back. Good play. Kinlaw pressure, delay rush, bull to club. Okay, it's a lot. Two eye tech again right here. Yeah, so again, you could see the power. Rushes the guard, rushes the guard, uses a club, engages, right hand into the chest, feels the defender getting, or feels the offensive lineman getting a little bit flat, clubs the back, arm over. You can see how powerful his core is and how powerful his strikes are, for sure. And again, he has a lot of upside. Can the Jets get it out of him? You hope so. It's not like he comes from a bad spot with the Niners, though, right? Like they developed their guys; they're pretty good. Even though I would say Solomon Thomas is better with the Jets than with the Niners, and Kinlaw will probably be better with the Jets than the Niners. Can attacks that shoulder, wants to win inside, club, throws the offensive lineman. Now I don't know why he delays here. Like he gets out of this and then he like stops to get to the quarterback. I would want to see him obviously just rush the quarterback right away instead of gearing down like he does right there. A little bit odd. Um, but it is what it is. Kinlaw, violent but hesitation. Okay. Violent but hesitation. He's right here. Again, two eye tech. Or not two eye tech. Sorry, three tech. He's a three tech here. Two eyes here. That was just my fault. Three tech. And so now he's running a stunt, which is executed relatively well in terms of he carries 73 a little bit. 73 pushes him into the tackle. The good thing about Kinlaw here is when he's going to attack the tackle, he does a good job of obviously jolting him. Left hand into the rib cage, extension throws him by him, which gives him a clear path to the quarterback. Clear path to the quarterback. Now, why does he stop here? He almost like hurts himself. He gets too flat, and then maybe he realizes like, okay, I need to get a little bit more depth here. But awkward looking, and then gets a hit, but maybe could have been a sack. Kinlaw bull rush, some bad techniques, I guess from both. I don't know. I don't know. Four eye loose three. So yeah, with the bull rush here, like he has, if he, it's actually not so bad. Left hand comes out, was going to land into the shoulder. Obviously, the left guard lands his hand into the chest, which good job by the guard landing that first contact into the chest. Good job. Kinlaw's right hand seemingly lands into the chest. Left hand comes from outside the shoulder, refits underneath, extension, and tries to drive through for to push him into Stafford's lap. Now, ideally, with bull rushes, we're not like over the top like this and controlling a guy. Ideally, it's underneath of a guy and lift and drive through, not push. He's pushing more than lifting here, which is why he probably doesn't finish it. But you could see the natural power. Like he's explosive. He's powerful for sure. He just needs to put the technique together. All right. Rush PD. All right. He's right here. Now he's a 2 tech. Like yeah, he gets his hand up there. Now in terms of the rush, tries to just like hesitate and bull, I guess. Hesitate and bull rush, but he gets caught by a hand. Left hand comes underneath, so the bull rush is pretty ineffective. Like you don't want to just necessarily bull rush a straight arm. Like he did last time. He got the straight arm, he still bull rushed through it. Now he gets a straight arm and bull rushes through it. You want to bull rush an open chest. You don't want to bull rush a straight punch unless you can deflect it. Hand lands. Okay. Now there's some, hand fighting, all this stuff. 73 anchors down on him. Kinlaw is not going to win the rush. Sees Stafford, going to throw the ball, thinks he is, gets his hand up there once, keeps the hand up there, is able to track the ball into his hand, deflect it. So good deflection. The rush, again, there's not really the best pass rush plan here, but the length to deflect the ball is obviously good. Kinlaw rush, okay. I believe he's the 3 tech right here. Yeah. And you can see it's like very very like just not controlled. Like there's a lot of like jerky movements and stuff. It's not very smooth with him. What I think he tries to do is tries to stab to the inside and then tries to club arm over. The problem is the stab does not close at ground at all. So the offensive lineman doesn't really react to it and then punches him, lands in the chest, punches, land in the chest. But Kinlaw is able to chop, swipe the outside arm and then arm over. The problem with the arm over is the right arm of the offensive lineman is attached to him still, so he's not able to get that's the problem with arm overs is arm over, you're really leaving yourself exposed. So if he's like kind of caught in the shoulder here, which kind of raises his pad level, he's not really able to cleanly get the arm over. Yeah, not the best plan. Too shallow. Gets caught. Arm over, doesn't land, but clubs again, rips again. Violent hands, like he continues to work himself. Tries to chase down. So again, not the best. But you can see just the natural power of him being able to chop down in that arm, chop him again, kind of throw him by him, rip. Very all over the place, but has every tool you want in the tool belt, that's for sure. Kinlaw, Washington run. All right. 3 tech. 3 tech right there. Yeah, get play a little bit out of control. When you feel a combo coming, do you want to be this high and then just hugging like this? No, like he just ducks his head. Now you could spike it. You could spike it. You could just try to split these guys, or at the minimum take on one of them. Take on one of them. Turn your body away from the other. Anchor down. Sink into your anchor. What do you not want to do? You do not want to come off the ball hands wide and then have absolutely no good hand placement. Didn't really sink much down into it at all. Is still pretty high, and then gets driven inside and pancaked. Not the best in terms of taking that on. He's like plays very uncontrolled. Kinlaw win, but another stall. It's interesting little dilemma with his wins. He wins. He's like, oh shit, I won. I'm supposed to sack the quarterback now. Let me process that. 3 tech. Yeah, so he plays high for sure. So his plan pre-snap is to cross this dude's face, and he does. Cross the face, swipe, rip. Now he's held a little bit. Oh, interesting. So he's held. He's held, and then watch the guard pull himself into Kinlaw, and then knee his ankle. That's why he delays and then gets picked up by the running back. Okay, so that wasn't a delay. He actually wins that. Like, again, you could see the violence, you could see the lateral explosion, you could see all that stuff. He gets kneed, literally. Like, you'd see the defender or the offensive lineman trying to knee him. Sorry, knees him, tries to knee him again, which does enough. Interesting. I didn't see that the first time, clearly. Kinlaw take on cut block aggressive. Okay. Right here, 2-eye. And I think he's a little bit misplaced as like a 2-eye, a 1, a 0, anything like that. I think he should be like a pure like 3, 4-eye tech. Comes off the ball, goes to engage the guard, realizes the guard isn't really trying to truly block him, swipes it away, gets the eyes inside, sees the cut block coming. What do you want to do? You want to push him down and pull your legs away. Push him down, pull your legs away, stuff him into the ground, get involved in the tackle. All right. Kinlaw pressure. Kinlaw pressure. He's right here. 3 tech. Okay, this was his plan. His plan from the jump was to get into that. It looks like they planned it, obviously, where he's in a loop inside and he's going to take it immediately. It's not even actually like a real, like, it's not even a stunt, but crosses the face, club, rip. Want to see that rip land more elbow, not armpit, because it's not going to be able to come up as easy. Ideally, you basically want like elbow to elbow, and then your elbow to take his elbow. So crosses the face with a club, rip, trips a little bit here over Hawkinson, maintains his balance, continues the rip. Well, he like rips and then like rips it off of him with his right arm and then refits the rip. But you see how he ripped to the sky, rip it off of you. Get to Cousins for the pressure. Okay. I like the lateral explosion. I like the club rip. Don't obviously he trips over Hawkinson, can't do much about it. And then just keeps working the rip. Rips, tries to refit it, rips again, lifts it up. Okay. Pressure. Right here, 2-eye. Again, 0, 1, loose 1, 2-eye, 2, 3, loose 3, 4-eye, 4, 5. Watch. So this is another one where like he can even play this better from the jump. Like if he were to be more better with his bull rush in terms of his hands not coming over the top like this and coming under and extending, he's there already. So attacks the center, which is fine. Again, hands are high and he's relatively high into the bull rush, so it's not the best bull rush, but just has natural power to extend the center, which I guess is Bradbury, right? 65, yeah. Extends the center, which knocks him off of his spot. And now that he extends the center is leaning for contact because his base is pushed back. Kinlaw then he basically uses a bull jerk. Bull, extension, jerk, arm over, and just keep driving your feet to get to the quarterback. Ball's out. But a good rush. We'll take it. It's not the best rush in the world. Again, we want him to be more linear. And you see how when he maybe a little bit of hip roll. There's a little bit of roll in the hips there. Yeah, he has some hip roll. If he was underneath of him better though, he just lifts him up in the air and just kind of throws him back into the quarterback. Like he's a lot stronger than Bradbury. Want to get again underneath instead of over top. Kinlaw plan ? So there's not much of one. Slanted 4-eye, loose 3. You do see this a lot with his rushes, like a lot of like head jerky type of movements. head jerky. I don't know if he thought, okay, I'm gonna stab to the inside and then get him to open up and I'm gonna take the chest. But it does not work. Defender gets, I keep saying the defender. I think it's because I just did two offensive line reviews instead of two. Now I'm doing defensive line. I keep saying offensive guys are defensive guys, but nonetheless, I guess that was the plan. Again, doesn't work, gets caught in the chest and gets completely locked up. But you do see a lot of just in this game. If he can refine himself, refine his technique, I get it. You know, chase down tackle. Okay. 2-eye. Clearly has speed, right? Like you could see the athleticism. Offensive lineman both working to Kinlaw's right. Kinlaw also works to his right. Engages both. Right hand inside, left hand inside. Extension. Trying to see where the run is going. Sees Baker toss the ball. Gets his eyes to the running back. Gets underneath, not underneath of the block, but he's getting outpaced to the sideline. So he just decides, instead of trying to outrace myself to the sideline and string along the block, I'm just going to get underneath of it. Gets underneath of it, and then the chase is on. Big shot. Big hit on the running back. I like the fact that he gets lateral here and then engages both. I like that. Keeps himself clean. Good eyes, tracking the ball. Chasing the running back. Bad stunt. Okay. Right here, 3-tech. Yeah, the thing with these stunts too is like you really want to do your best to, and so he tries to chop arm over. That's the plan. Looks like chop, and his left arm starts to raise. As a picker, what you want to do really is do your absolute best to kind of engage 64 here. A lot of guys will use a rip with the inside arm, and then they'll rip and basically hold him. And instead of ripping and trying to lift up the sky, they'll basically sink up elbows or like kind of hook the elbow and just squeeze their form and try to pull them into the 78, leaving the looper free. So the plan of kind of avoiding him to chop and then arm over doesn't do well for a stunt. Like this is kind of more of an individual play, I feel like, from Kinlaw than him trying to be a team player. He's just trying to beat 64 and penetrate instead of trying to stunt. Because then he takes it to lateral into 94. Now they're hitting bodies. 64 is not engaged. It's just not a good stunt. It's just not good execution. It's poor. This is more individual play than I'm trying to be a team player, in my opinion. You don't really. I've personally, I don't think I've ever seen an attempt on a chop arm over on a stunt. That's the first time I've ever seen that ever, because people don't do that, because that's not what the penetrator's job is. Now, if you're a penetrator and you're penetrating and you carry well, and then you see that the tackle, let's say that you're penetrating into, since so fucked up, that you could attack the hip and then get to the quarterback. But initially, your job is to carry that guard.